Hi Libra, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm very happy and excited to be able to provide you with a reading. This is for our Libra collective, and this is a monthly read for the month of April 2022. So just as we go along with the read, the time frame itself here, just keep in mind it's pretty flexible. You might notice that the energies hit you in your particular situation, for example, the first week in May. So just kind of, yeah, be a little bit more open with dates is all I'm going to ask during the read. And the read itself is going to be a general read, so if there's specific messages here in the read today that really do not resonate whatsoever with your situation, that's okay, because it really just means it's meant for someone else here in the community, right? We do definitely want to make sure that everyone is receiving the messages that they're intended to. All right, so that was really quick. We got the Oracle card. Maybe not the Oracle card you want to see, maybe the Oracle card that you do or don't want to see. I guess you have to really decide what your perspective is going to be here. Changes. This is the, my arm's a little bit shaky. Changes. This is the overall energy for the entire reading here today. So for the month of April, you can expect changes. This could be in the form of relationships, in the form of belief systems, in the form of practices, in the form of pretty much any aspect here that you can imagine. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot. See what kind of energy we have here for Libra collective. Okay, this one flew out. Those two came together. These three here came up together. I'm just going to leave them as is for just a moment. I'm just going to focus on here at the beginning, and we'll get into possibly even another deck depending on how I want to get as much information as I can on these changes for you. So just bear with me as I go along during the read. It might be a little bit frustrating to wait and get the information, but if so, I really just want to make sure that I'm kind of allowing myself to get the best possible messages that want to come forward for you guys, right? Eight of Cups, first card. This is an opportunity. So when you have your changes coming with the overall energy, opportunity, it's also symbolic of change, just to mention. If you research, this card is also symbolic or symbolizing change, movement, motivation. So I really don't feel there's any doubt here that the overall energy here of change is pretty significant. I don't think you can avoid changes that are coming, and I think it's more about preparing for things on different levels. So maybe there's something emotionally that you need to prepare for, and if you're aware of it today, then you can kind of allow yourself to not be caught off guard, right? Seven of Swords. So this is where I noticed kind of like that negative, icky energy come out here in the read. It's kind of like a disconnect here in the read. It feels like you might be disconnected from a situation on some level. It's really hard to put this into a situation if it's not a personal situation. You could also feel as though you're within a group and the group dynamic is very much working against you, right? You could also feel as though life itself owes you so much more, and where you find yourself today is no fault of your own, or just that mentality that comes along with this card, that energy here. It can be very much, if you allow it, to kind of get you down in the dumps, because it's almost saying that you're kind of in a victim mentality. So with that being said, that's the negative energy here that I see. But I also have lots of good things that come forward. So remember, it's always a choice, right? We always have these opportunities that are going to come up, and we're going to have that ebb and flow of energy. So right here, I have Two of Cups. So this is pretty positive as far as it's usually a soulmate or love. It can be romantic love, receiving some type of fulfillment. It's more about balance though in this read. It's more about you coming into balance, right? So really allowing yourself to not get stuck in this Seven of Swords energy. I don't like that for you at all, because you're going to go through a change, and I can't ignore right now that we're all going through so much worldwide right now. So times are hard, times are tricky. I do feel, however, whatever's coming forward, it's almost like when it hits you, you kind of have to ask yourself, what is this difficult situation trying to teach me, right? Because it's showing up in your reality for a reason. It's serving some type of a purpose in your growth in some way. So it's going to be really important to kind of change the energy, maybe by asking yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? Knight of Pentacles. This is our ability to learn new things, our ability to manifest certain things in our life. It's really going to provide you with the patience to be able to plan. So when this comes up, it's really and beautiful and worth saying that I do see that it's about planting the seeds right now for something in the future. So you're kind of starting at square one, and you're going to start something off with balance, where in the past it might have had like a rocky foundation, and you're really going to start something off with brand new and a very solid foundation. So that's a really important message here. Yeah, I think that's just allowing yourself to be patient with yourself, because you're not expected to do everything all at once. That's probably something somebody needs to hear at this time. Two of Wands. Eight of Swords. Right, so you have two major arcana that came up in the read. Excuse me. So the energies here are, it's more of an ebb and flow energy. It can become something that maybe you get stuck in, like I say, the wrong energies around you. So you're going to want to focus on how to protect your energies more than usual. You're really going to have to be careful of your thoughts, pick up on those negative thought patterns. That could even be a very significant change for some of you. The changes that are happening, the changes going forward, you're moving into maybe an entirely new belief system. So that's That's huge. That's massive, because anything that you've known or anything that you've been taught, or anything that you've been conditioned to, those beliefs, you're kind of allowing yourself to release them and be open to a new, I feel it's a better version. All right, number two. So 22 is a combination here. Um, 2 might be a spiritual number, spiritual meaning behind it for you. 22 could be a synchronistic number. That hasn't come up for a while in a lot of the reads, so I think that's something that's probably you're gonna start to notice going forward for the remainder of the year, that you might see these type of messages, these type of synchronicities, right? Those symbols and synchronicities. So Two of Wands is going to allow you to have confidence. It's going to give you the ability to have confidence in a partnership. You're going to have the ability to communicate what it is that you need. You're going to have the ability to communicate and some pretty important decisions here. So you're actually more in control of this change than you think you are. Sometimes we can think that the universe is punishing us and putting us in situations, but it's a clear indication here that and that might be the belief system that's changing for you on a subconscious level. It's pretty clear that you are given this energy to allow yourself to be more so in control of situations than maybe you thought you were initially. So that could be a realization that you're having. You're starting to realize how incredibly powerful you are, and the manifestation abilities that you have to create your life. So again, with the ebb and flow, you have Eight of Swords. So that's 7 in that Eight of Swords. That 78 number could be a combination with spiritual meanings behind it, or synchronicity and symbolisms. So with that being said, it's a doorway or anxiety. So, and I feel this anxiety welling up in me just incredibly over the last few seconds. Um, you're feeling trapped. You're feeling, maybe you have a job that you're in and you feel like you're working to the max and it's still not enough to cover your bills. You're feeling as though maybe you're in a relationship and you feel that you're being kind of held captive in that relationship, right? Um, it's negative thoughts. So again, it's going to be so important to make sure that we catch those negative thoughts early on so that we can change our beliefs, right? So we may have always thought this can happen for others, but it can never happen for me. A new thought system, a new belief pattern, which you may be actively kind of going towards. I think that you have the Hermit card here. So this is the last card, the major arcana, the Hermit card. So I feel it's almost as though you're kind of taking the accountability to kind of really step back and look at your situation from a whole. You're kind of seeing more of a big picture. So some of you might see this doorway, right? This Eight of Swords. It's this doorway. It's symbolizing this doorway. So allowing you to go through it and not have to deal with the restrictions that you've had to deal with up until now, or feel kind of entrapped like you have. Um, but that doorway as well doesn't have to be on a physical level. It can be on a mental level. So you can allow yourself to just, when those negative thought patterns come in, you can allow yourself to take that path, right? To take that new direction and to turn things around on a conscious level, to kind of put forward the energy early in the day, especially. that you want to put it into the universe. You are actively creating a space for yourself. You're active, especially with the Hermit card energy, right? Because this is generally about making sure that you're patient with yourself in the sense that you I'm going to get another card, but yeah, let me get another deck. Let's see what I have. Yeah, so this is contemplation, the Hermit. This is the reflection. So let me get, I'm going to take a whole new deck here. Let me go ahead and try to get a few more cards just to kind of get clarifying details on this Hermit reflection energy here. Any additional messages that can clarify for us regarding these moments of reflection? I do feel strongly for a lot of you, it's belief systems. It's your subconscious patterns that are changing. Not everyone, but for a big part, I do feel that. Gratitude. This is huge. So it's right at the bottom. Our Nine of Pentacles at the top. This is huge, huge, huge. So your reflection time is, and I saw this really, really strongly. I don't normally like to say this because it's hard to incorporate this into the read, but I saw this in a meditation earlier today about how there's so much greed, and there's so much pain and suffering. And even during those times, there are individuals who can have gratitude for things, because there's always, 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 always something to be grateful for. So I think that's a really, 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 really huge message. Your attitude of gratitude could possibly be a really big part of this reflection period, because you're starting to realize that you I have a dog in the background, so he might be huffing and puffing a bit. All right, so we have Six of Wands confirming as well. Your reflection type of energy here. So that's a success card. So it almost is confirming, if you take this route here of gratitude and in your meditations, that it's going to be successful to kind of, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it's kind of like it's changing some type of chemistry in your body, and it's allowing things to flow naturally without stress, without worry. You're starting to really, you're seeing things in a much, much, much different perspective, in a much different way than before. You're really understanding how good maybe you've had things up until this point, and during that entire time, you may not have even acknowledged it. So now there's this possibility of negative energy here. You really want to kind of get ahead of it, which is fantastic. You know changes are coming. You know they're unavoidable. You know they're a part of life, right? If we aren't learning and moving and changing, then we really aren't living. One last card, if we can, for you guys. May or may not come. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for the tarot. So let's go ahead and get you guys an inspirational message here to end the read. Always want to end with an inspirational message of some kind. final message did you want to send forward? All right, I'm going to take the one on the bottom. It says, love and peace of mind do protect us. They allow us to overcome the problems that life hands us. They teach us to survive, to live now, to have the courage to confront each day. Isn't that amazing how this came up? Love and peace of mind do protect us. They allow us to overcome the problems. So your mental health during this time is going to be so important, and so much more in your control than maybe you've allowed yourself to believe in the past. So a big part of that, from what I can see in this read, is going to be, of course, the gratitude, of course, right? We can never go in the wrong direction when we go with gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. But the second thing that's also worth mentioning here is when you're in difficult times, it is important to ask ourselves, what is this trying to teach me? All right, everyone, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for making it until the end of this video. Catch my breath. You guys can do this. You guys are strong. You guys are powerful. And I do feel that you're going to unite with yourself on an inner level, and that's where your growth and your journey is progressing forward. So yes, there is definitely work to be done. And I do feel as though, personally, I'm excited to see your reading for the month of May. So thank you to everyone who has been a part of this channel over the last few years, supported this channel. Thank you so much. And anyone who is new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys are filling your own cup. Make sure during this time you're filling that cup, because it's really hard to start out with an empty cup in moving towards difficult times. So we always want to make sure that we're replenishing that. And make sure that you're taking care of your loved ones during this time. And I hope that you all stay safe. And I hope to see you guys all again very soon. Bye.